What's going on, guys? It's your boy DJ Fastnex here with another episode review of Power Forces Season 2. This is now episode 2. So, guys, we end last week's episode off with Tommy killing old boy for talking all that trash and, jumping ship for the most part, right? He had it coming, man. I'm sorry. It's those things where, you see something that just happened and everybody want to jump and do craziness. Why? So with this episode, we start off with you got a lot of things going on. So you got Tommy trying to come to Diamond and tell him, hey, we done took care of the old boy. We ain't got that problem no more. Diamond freaking out because now he has to deal with Tommy not listening to him, and they trying to keep everything kind of tight knit and on the low, because especially with Diamond, he got this new parole officer following him and stuff. And, he just got a new parole officer in general, so he ain't trying to start no trouble at all. So, you got all that going on. And Tommy's like, look, man, chill. We got this. No problems. Just relax. We gonna handle this or whatever like that, right? So, we, I know at one point, we get Vic. Vic is basically just spiraling. He's going out of control. He's he doesn't know what to do because he's still tripping about his girlfriend being killed by the dad. So he basically, on the last episode, he basically leaves the partnership with him and his sister, and he's just, like I said, spiraling. They have a scene where he goes into a gas station. I'm sorry, wasn't it a bar? Or no, he goes to a gas station. And, actually, no, wrong. Let's start over. He goes to a bar, and Tommy shows up to try to find out what's going on with different things and trying to see who killed old girl. Who killed his friend. And basically, nobody knows, what I'm saying? Like he, Vic tells him, he doesn't know, and Tommy Vic know what the hell going on, and so Tommy basically gives him that thing look, when I find out, don't let it be known that you knew. And sure enough, we know he knows. We know he knows his sister did it. So then later on, Vic goes into a gas station, and he's drunk as hell, and he's just trying to find more booze, and randomly, this chick shows up and is like, yo, you want to go in this room over here? And he goes in there and she serves him up. And I'm just like, what type of fake reality we live in where you could just show up at a gas station and a random girl just say she want to serve you up? Nothing, no money, no nothing. Just she just want to take care of you. And then let alone go into a place where she don't work, he don't work, and think the owner is not going to see what the hell is going on, or the person who's working is not going to see what's going on. And sure enough, guess what happened? The guy who's behind the counter realizes they in there. He bangs on the door. And Vic is like, look, let me go ahead and get this real quick, and then I'm going to take care of that guy. And basically comes out and puts the gun to the guy's head. And I think he assumed that the girl wanted to be paid for what she did. So he tells the guy to give her $50. And he tells him to take everything else out the register and give it to him. And so Vic basically says, I'm this guy, move, get out my way, blah, 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 blah. So he leaves. And, again, drunk, all this other good stuff like that, right? So, later on in the episode, you see that he shows up. And I want to say he was driving drunk. And he got pulled over by the cops. And when he got pulled over by the cops, he threw his name out there. I'm who I am. I'm a Flynn. And, I know their name holds weight in this city or whatever, but that cop was like, I don't care who you are. You drunk. Time to go to jail, bro. So they take him to jail, and his dad basically bails him out. Tries to convince him to do some stuff, but I'm going too far. Let's go back. Now let's go to his sister. After already, killing the cook from the last episode because she thought the cook ratted out the Dahlia secrets when it really was Tommy, she's still trying to find out what's going on, and she's visited by her dad. and her dad is kind of, um, you know, tripping because his son basically told him that he doesn't want to be a part of anything on the last episode, and so this episode he comes and he basically tells him he don't want to be a part of this stuff, and he tells his dad that Dahlia, his sister, was behind that, blah blah blah. So if you're trying to do some stuff, we got to do that. You need to use her. So earlier in the episode, earlier in the episode, Tommy Walter is visited by the people who are above him, and he owes money to basically, and they find a way for him to get some extra money, try to sell some stuff, and they tell him that they have a batch of pills that's just a little bit too strong for what they need to use it for. So I mean, if you could get rid of them, that way you could get the money, blah blah blah, and then we can leave you alone, all that good stuff. So now I'm thinking to myself, like, how you gonna sell this stuff? Everybody tell him not to sell this stuff because it's gonna kill people. And he said he don't want to taint his reputation, but you gotta do something because if he ain't paying this man their money, they finna get him too. So that was his great idea after having this conversation with his son. Let me go to my daughter because she was able to move her new product around. He could probably get her to move this product around. So when he shows up and he talks to her, Claudia, basically he tells her, "Hey, look, got this deal. I want to give you your own little project. You've shown that you can do all this stuff. I heard about you and this Dahlia thing. Blah 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 blah." She was like, "Do you really want me to be a part of this, or are you doing that because my brother said no and he don't want to deal with it?" And he was like, "Yeah, well, I mean, to be honest, I wanted to use your brother, but he's going through. Well, basically, he said he wanted to use your brother, but he doesn't want to do it. And I think she was trying to convince him to keep the brother on because he's like, he's going crazy. He's doing all the stuff, which I just talked about earlier. So you have all that stuff going on, and basically." She says, okay, cool. She's all excited now because her dad's now treating her like an equal. Well, not equal, but like she means something in the company or in the family or whatever. And so her and Vic meet up, and Vic was like, "Oh, so you're working with Dad now? Huh. All right, watch what happens when he turns on you and do what he always does, and then you're gonna realize that you was in the same boat you was in the beginning." And she didn't believe him. He's like, "Nah, he's really for it, whatever, blah blah blah." Because she went to go talk to him to try to convince him to just, join with them. And he was like, "Nah, I ain't got nothing to do with none of this stuff. I'm out." So later on, you get that whole part where Vic is met up with his dad. Well, his dad comes to get Vic out of jail, and basically when he pulls him out of jail, he's telling him how you need to just stop tripping. You need to be a man. You need to do this. You need to do that, and we need to get you back in the family business. And he was like, "If you want me to come back, you need to kick I'm about to say Gloria. You need to kick Claudia out. Claudia can't be a part of this." So because the dad automatically wanted his son to be the person to do the stuff, he went straight ahead and gave the project to Vic and kicked Claudia off the project. And Claudia flipped out, was mad, and was like, you just like he said you were gonna be. You're still this same guy, and you don't care about anybody else but yourself. Blah 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 blah. And so now you get this whole realization that damn, Vic was right, and he did it again. Boom. So that's kind of how that story plot wraps up in this show, in this episode. But then you have the whole Tommy, and Diamond having their whole issue with killing the old boy off on the last episode, let alone just trying to get all the ducks in a row, trying to meet up with everything, and just trying to keep the business kind of at bay and on point. So instead of Tommy and Diamond going to meet up with what's his name? I just had his name in my face. Miguel. When they were supposed to meet up with Miguel to drop off the money, Tommy went to go meet up with Diamond in the barbershop, and right before Tommy shows up, Diamond is visited by the his parole officer, who wants to give him hell and makes him go take a piss test. But Tommy comes in like he know that he running things, but he don't know that the guy that's there is his parole officer. So when Diamond was when the parole officer was talking to Diamond, that's when Tommy walks in, act like he's the big man on campus, and he had to kind of pipe down because he realized Diamond had to deal with the parole officer. So when the parole officer gave him the thing and told him to go pee in there, he goes to the bathroom. He texts Tommy, "Hey, go ahead and go. That's my parole officer. We got problems right now. So just go ahead and handle that by yourself. I don't have to worry about nothing." So Tommy goes off and he basically goes to drop the money off to Miguel. So when he's on his way to Miguel, what happens is they show a whole scene of well, no, I'm sorry. He goes to drop this stuff off to Miguel, and Miguel and them, they looking at him like, "Bro, what are you doing here again?" He's like, "Got the money, blah blah blah." So they were about to bring him in, and as soon as he was about to go in, the Serbs came out and start shooting, and they had a big gunfight, and everybody's like trying to protect him. Tommy protects Miguel. Tommy ends up getting shot trying to save Miguel and all them, or just trying to fend off these people who were attacking them, and whatever. So Miguel, feels gracious and allows them to go and actually patch Tommy up and take the product and all that good stuff like that. Well, the money, not the product. And so while Tommy was in there getting patched up, he's overhearing like this thing about like where they're gonna do a drop at with the Serbs and just all this different things. Like where they're gonna do a drop for the product and all that stuff like that. Not for the Serbs, they're just gonna do a drop for the product. So Tommy was like, okay, I'm gonna use that to my advantage. And so what happened was he goes and once again, because he's getting patched up, so who was there? Miguel's sister, Mireya. So she already still hit him with that flirty stuff, but telling it all at the same time, telling the man, hey, you don't want to do this. This ain't what you want to do with your life. This ain't how you want to live your life. You might want to chill out. Stay away from my brother. Stay away from the family. Blah, 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 blah. So Tommy's getting patched up, and then they kind of skip ahead. Well, not skip ahead, but they go outside of the compound, and then you see. I'm sorry. He's getting patched up, and Miguel comes outside, and his grandmother comes, and she's like, "What's going on?" As this time, Tommy's coming out because they finished patching him up, and he's getting ready to leave, and basically she gives him the dirtiest look, like, "I will cut you from your balls to the top of your head if you look at me the wrong way." And he's like, "Oh, hello, Blair." What I think he said Blair. He said Blair. But yeah, it was funny. He like kind of said hey, and she just gives a little like, "Don't talk to me," and walks off. And so then you had this whole meeting as Tommy is leaving. You had this meeting with him and his mother, and they talk about what we need to do to the Serbs, and they're attacking and blah 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 blah. And he was like, "Don't worry about it. You good? We got everything together. We a strong family." And he's like, "What about this white boy? What's going on here? I don't trust him. Don't trust that man. Blah blah blah." And he was like, "Well, he helped us out today. That's why he was here. But I wouldn't even trust that man as far as I could throw him." Like basically saying, even though he was cool with Tommy saving him, he still don't trust him. And he said he'll never trust him. And so they did this whole little thing there. And I want to say later, either I can't remember if it was before this or after that. It was one of I think the people who's over Miguel. They come to him and tell him, "Hey, look." No, but I think Miguel was telling him like, "Yeah, we gotta hit these people back. We gotta hit the Serbs back." Blah 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 blah. And the guy who's above Miguel was like, "Yo, chill out. We don't need that right now. This is the best pipeline for the drugs right now. We don't need to have no war between us and the Serbs because of just that." And he said, "If you go beyond me and you do this stuff that I'm telling you not to do, I'm gonna take your sister out and everybody else that you deem And he says it in such a gruesome way. It gets real deep in how he says how he's gonna take her out. Not only he didn't say he's gonna take her out. I'm sorry. He said he's gonna take her, rape her, send her to Mexico, and let the boys get through with her, and and do all the other stuff from there. I'm like, God dang, well, he was not playing no games. So yeah, like, they had that whole situation going on. So then Tommy comes up with this idea um, to tell Diamond, hey, look, I know what a drop is. I think I got an idea how we could get some stuff started. So they roll up on some Serbs, they kill them, and they staged the situation up where they kind of cuffed them off to the side, and they're waiting for the product to come from Miguel and them. So when they get there, the Miguel and them like, what the hell going on? Well, I'm sorry, the people from the cartels like, what's going on? And they basically shot them up and staged the whole scene like as if it was the Serbs against them. And they put the Serbs that they killed earlier in the clothes they had, and then basically played it off like it was them who attacked the thing. And they took all the product. So this now enrages Miguel. He's like, what the hell's going on? I'm tired of these Serbs. They tripping. We got to take them out. It's on. We got to take them out. So Tommy and Diamond in the background like, ha ha ha, got him. Like, he's like, now we just sit back and we just watch the fireworks. And then while that's going on, we just slip in and become the leader of the city when it comes down to drugs. And I was like, you know what? I ain't gonna lie, that is a good idea. So let's talk about your boy Jannard. First of all, listen. Jannard, he got hard right now. I feel for the man. It's like, only thing good about what's going on in his life right now is the simple fact that he getting some pom pom, and she pretty cute. I ain't even gonna lie. She pretty cute, and that's what he's dealing with, and it's actually pretty nice that he has her to deal with, and so like, and she has his back too. Like, that's for a girl who's supposed to be at the moment. I wouldn't quite call her a jump off, but more like I can't say a jump off, but she's not his main squeeze, if you want to say it like that. At the moment, she's at the moment she's dealing with him, and I'm not saying he's the only person she's dealing with, but she's rocking hard for your boy Jannard, and that's probably, like I said, the best thing that he got going on right now, because outside of that, I feel sorry for your boy, because he got everybody looking for him. He ain't got no product. He ain't got no money. He barely, like, she helped him out on the last episode, barely was able to pay old boy off, on top of paying the Russians off, because he screwed them over. But now, things is getting ready to get rough. So he got to find out what he need to do. And so, like, he goes to talk to her, and she hooks him up so he could pay the other people off. And because the Russians came and took the other money that he was saving up to pay to pay Miguel. She helped him pay Miguel off to finish, get him what he owes Miguel. But now he still has a problem with different things happening, and so he just, like I said, he just got a heart. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen with him, and so he goes off and realize, like, basically that Tommy is the one that killed old boy who flipped. And so everybody in the crew was like, we gotta take them out. We know it was your brother. And he's like, nah, it wasn't my brother. It was Tommy. And we gonna go to war with that motherfucker. Like, cause we gonna leave my brother out of it, because we know he ain't had no do. He ain't got the guts for that or whatever. But Tommy, that's the one we gotta get. And so when that happened, and this is going back in the beginning, where Diamond was told, Tommy told Diamond that he did it. He took care of old boy. Diamond had to go clean that up and talk to his brother, Jannard, and Jannard was like, bro, we gonna do this. Diamond was like, look, man, let me tell you something. You don't want this war. You ain't gonna win this war. And, like, we just need to chill, bro, because if you go to war with us, you already know we gonna take you out. And Tommy crazy as hell. So you don't want to be on that man's bad side or whatever like that. So then Jannard, realizing not only that he got his brother and their crew gunning for him, he got the Serbs, and then he got Miguel and the cartel looking at him for all these things that he ain't got. So he's like, man, I don't know, let me just chill. You know what? He right, let me just chill out. So Gennaro tells his boys, chill out on that, because he put a hit out on Tommy, and they was like on site or whatever. So Gennaro's like, yo, dead that shit right now. We go chill. We go get him later. We go get him, later on. Right now we just need to chill because we need to just try to worry about getting this money, this paper, so we can pay these people off or whatever. So the guys was like, oh hell nah, he tripping. So one of the guys happened to go to Gennaro's old girl and kind of vent to her, saying how he tripping, and they go have to take business in their own hands. And so I was like, oh, okay, here we go. Here we go. And so then we go, now let's go to this other little side plot that's happening in this thing, which I'm liking, but I'm not liking at the same time, because they're not really getting too much anywhere. They kind of did a little, like, couple steps forward in this episode, but not quite. So we got this task force this lady is trying to build to go against Tommy. Everybody knows it's Tommy. They done showed people in New York that it's Tommy. She done went in front of a board to try to get a task force. They told her, hell no, we ain't finna give you this. So she's like talking to this captain guy, and her husband. She's talking to her husband, and she was trying to convince him to help her out. But the reason he didn't want to help her out is because apparently not only did she's trying to go after Tommy, but before then she went after his department, the police department, and was saying how corrupt some of them were, and she basically called all out war on them to take them out, take out the bad apples, if you want to call it, and just kind of start fresh with that whole organization. And so now they don't want to back her, and so she was trying to get this task force up. They told her they can't give her that. Now, if you can get the department behind you and other stuff, they could probably work it out and give her the task force. So that's why she went, and she was talking to her husband, who's happened to be part of the police department. And he's like, look, I ain't getting in the middle of that, middle of my wife and my job. Nah, I'm good. I'm gonna let y'all try to handle that. I don't, if you can fix it, then you can fix it. But as far as me trying to do something about it, I'm not gonna do it. So she was so pissed because nobody wanted to help her out to get this task force to come after Tommy. So let's go back to these Gennaro's people on his side of this CBI freaking war or whatever. So Tommy up here, like Tommy in his car, eating the sub, trying to chill, and they set this scene up. This is the last scene of the episode. They set this scene up so good. He at the stoplight. He like, yeah, I'm finna tear this up. You see this old lady with her kid walking across the street, and she trying to make sure her kid come across the street. And I was like, oh Lord, it's finna get crazy. So they shot up Tommy. They tried to kill him. Tommy, glass gets shattered. Tommy like, man, you messing up my sandwich time, man. And he drives off, and he pulls off. But then in the midst of all the chaos, this fool drives off and you realize that he killed a kid. So in the episode towards the end, literally, the detective was on a date with his wife, or they was going to go out to dinner, and they called him and said, we need you on the scene. And he was like, okay, let me drop my wife off. So she's like, what you talking about? Something going on. So then he goes and he sees the crime scene as a little boy, mom crying, all this good stuff like that. And he's like, dang. So then he gets a call, and basically he calls his wife and basically tells her, I think you're gonna get your task force, so just be ready. You getting it, because this stuff right here has to end. So now we're one step, even though we should be like at least 10 steps by now. Even though it's the second episode, we should at least be about 10 steps for the police coming after Tommy. And I guess because it's Tommy's show and we are always rooting for him, that they want to keep them as far behind as possible. But from all the information they have, they should be on his ass, and they not. So again, now we're 2 steps closer to trying to find out how they go get Tommy. And I don't think they're going to get Tommy. I think Blanca go come, and she probably will help them, but it still ain't going to stick, because Tommy going to find a way out of it, because you know how Tommy is. And just this whole situation. But I know for a fact, next episode, Tommy fed to go out to Gennaro and his boys. they messed up. I'm like, I don't understand. If Tommy done killed this old boy for flipping, what you think he gonna do to you for trying to kill him? It's over. And he probably gonna kill him extra because of the sandwich. And I know that sounds stupid, but it's the dumbest thing in the world. But yeah, that they basically end the scene with Tommy riding off, and the person is getting killed, and the detective is giving his wife the opportunity to go ahead and start her task force. So can't wait to see what happens this Friday on the next episode. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, any concerns, anything, you could go ahead and type it down in the comment section down below. Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms, DJ Fastnext. You'll find me. And until next time, I will see you guys later.